Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a chance to see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings as they match up with the NFL's all-time passing leader, Drew Brees, and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. From up top next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, folks, we were already excited for this game. And then before the contest, you and I are down on the field outside the white lines.
Yes, we were following the rules.
We were following the rules, and a ball comes over our direction, but we can't see it. Somebody yells heads up, and instinctively you turn around and you snare it one-handed with your off left hand. So now we're really ready for football.
No gloves either.
No gloves.
No gloves. Not like what the guys are wearing playing the game now. But wasn't that a whole lot better than that time we were down there? And I got the coffee spilled on me when I got nailed by the punt returner.
That happened to the Vikings, right?
Yes, a much better job of being heads up this time. Thank you for the notice.
The man back in purple in 2019, Dan Bailey, to get us started. And we are underway from the Superdome. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first pick of the second round back in 2001, and that's the veteran Drew Brees.
Drew Brees' accomplishments have been borderline astounding. When you look back at what people thought about him coming out of college, so-called height issue, you name it, he can do it, and boy, does he prepare well for each and every game.
Ready, 95-56, 95-56. It's our time. It's our time.
On 1st and 10, here's Brees. Well, this is a catch by Ted Ginn. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
In his 13th NFL season now, Ted Ginn, still a reliable target for Drew Brees. 787 yards in 2017, just 5 games last year due to injuries, but he still has the wheels.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped, and the Vikings pick up the football. And some room to maneuver. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's probably a little angry at himself. It was his fumble, obviously, a moment ago that led to the scoop and score touchdown that has him down early.
And now we find out about the psychology aspect of being a coach. Because when you have a guy that's just happened, some people want to take him out of the game immediately. Others say, you know something? Let's feed him the ball again next series and see if he's going to be able to atone for it. Let's see what they decide to do.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10, right at the 30. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
The steal in the 2017 NFL Draft had to be running back Alvin Kamara out of Tennessee, who ended up being that year's NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Split time with Mark Ingram his first 2 years in the league. With Mark Ingram now in Baltimore, it's his show. And through his first 2 years, almost equal yardage, rushing and receiving. Expect his rushing numbers to take a big leap in 2019.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Brees. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Third and long now after the sack of Brees, and the Saints up against it here. Shotgun now for Brees. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins. Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Cousins on 1st down. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Final play of the half. Cousins. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick, and he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
Bailey's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well, as we are back and underway for the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, You and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Tell me what you got. What you got, Heavy? What you got?
Throwing is Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Throwing on 2nd down. Cousins. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to the ground, Cook. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Vikings on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 11. Again, it's Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
So Breeze and the Saints down 10-0. A little over 20 seconds to go. They've yet to score all game long, but now they need to do so twice in short order to have a shot.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady. Mike. Oh, you got deep?
Back to throw, Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down. Three receivers head out right, one to the left on 2nd and 3.
I got him.
Now Breeze. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Everson Griffin in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say, it's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. Till next time, we say so long from the Bayou.